We have something in common, which is we've both never been married. We probably have different reasons for it, but why haven't you been? You have 3 minutes to tell me. Why haven't you been married?
Working on it. Okay, let's go.
Hi, I'm Nazanin, and welcome to my Memhuni. Today's guest is a multifaceted artist who's known as one of the pioneers of Persian rap. He's a poet, he's a businessman, he's a director, and so much more. He's toured the world and played sold-out shows and collaborated with some of the biggest artists in Persian history. He uses his art and his platform to shed light on important issues in an honest and thought-provoking way. I've had the pleasure of working with him before. Please welcome my friend, Erfan.
Hey. Good to see you, homie. It's been a while.
I know, it's been a really long while.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. I'm so happy to have you here. It's a pleasure. I just want to point out that I have my Tupac shirt on because he's both of our favorite rappers.
Yeah, exactly. I should have worn mine.
I know, we could have matched.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, I have those sunglasses similar. I should have worn those too. Same. Can you also tell me real quick, Aleph Ba, is that your new clothing line?
Aleph Ba, yeah, it's a new clothing line. I did. And the idea was I wanted to do something that's to the core, has to do with music, like alphabet, languages, something that I love, the Farsi language. So this one happens to have an English writing on it, but
yeah. I love Farsi, and that's why it's in English.
Exactly. But usually, there's some of it, they have my lyrics on it. Then I have different ideas and different prints that we just started out. So the first round is just writings, and then the next round is going to be more prints and colors and images and ideas that I have, So,
okay, nice.
Yeah.
One of them's going to be for sure my face with
for
Tupac.
Sure.
Yeah. We can do a Mount Rushmore, like you, Tupac, me,
all the greats, all the greats.
That's hilarious. Okay, I want to just get into a little bit of your background for people that might not know.
Okay.
But you were born and raised in Iran.
Yeah.
Esfahan?
I was born in Esfahan. Yeah, the raised part is just I don't know if I told you, but I was between Iran and America my whole life.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I must have missed that last time we talked about it.
It's a very unique situation. Preschool, elementary school, junior high, and high school. All four, I was both in Iran and here. So
were you in LA when you were doing that?
No, I was all over America too. I was in North Carolina for a year.
You were in North Kakalaki? Oh my God.
When I was from 6 to 7.
That's great. What was that experience like?
I don't remember much, but I remember I was probably the only Iranian kid. I remember that, I was telling my mom, why do I look different than everybody, Mom?
Yeah.
You look good.
Did you get Moms. But what do you remember from the type of teasing or questions that you got? I got bullied when I was a kid too.
I don't remember much, but I don't think I got teased that much there. Or
that's good.
Maybe I did. More when I moved to California, I remember more of that, and we were in Northern California before I moved to SoCal, and I remember I just looked different, and I'm no one could say my name, because I got a freaking hard name,
your last name is a mouthful.
Last name is 11 letters long.
Yeah. It's not Paidar for
it's
those
Hajj Rasulillah. No matter where you cut it, it's gonna sound like Hajj is Islamic, Rasul Islamic. You fucking can't get the Islam out of that.
You got screwed.
Yeah. And the first name's Erfan, and I don't know. It's funny. The last name, everybody says it right. When they look at it, they get scared as shit. They're like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
Then I'm try it. They're like, Hajj Rasulillah.
Oh.
Yeah, great. But my first name, clearly, the R is before the F, But everybody says Erfan. I don't know what that is.
Oh, they say Efron?
Yeah, it's really
Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
They think of Ephraim or Efron or something like that.
That's kind of funny. Wait, okay, but did you, because I remember we did a segment for VOA together and we talked a little bit about you and your journey to California and SoCal.
Yeah.
Am I remembering correctly that you lived in the Middle East too? Not Iran, but
yeah, I lived I moved, I used to live in Orange County, so I moved to Dubai from Orange County from 2010 to 2014.
And what was that experience like? Because I feel like Dubai was not what it is now too 10 years ago, right?
Yeah. Pinocchio, when he first goes to that that little place, what was it like? It's yay, he was all exciting, and then afterwards, fuck, what am I doing here? That's kind of what it was like.
That's Dubai.
Because you get there and everything's shiny, and it's a great place. I mean, it's safe, it's clean. Everything's brand new, but
a lot of laws you have to follow so you don't get executed. Yeah.
But at some point, I think it was affecting my music in a negative way because it doesn't really have a soul, and also I love nature, and like we live in LA, right? We drive like 20 minutes this way is the ocean, an hour that way is the mountains, an hour that way is the desert, San Diego, this, that, like all kinds
you can ski.
over there, no matter like, you know, you drive 30 minutes and it's just sand, and it basically just one type of weather. So it's not really, you know, but it has its perks. So if you have a great job there and you make good money.
Yeah, it's great if you have a lot of money there.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than that, it's like, I gotta
or
go.
if you're from, and also like I miss my family because if you're from Europe, like people move there from London, a lot of people leave from UK, France, and Germany and stuff.
Right.
So you could go see family on the weekend. You know, it's a short flight.
Yeah.
Or if you to Iran, it's a 1 hour flight. But Cali is like 13 hour, freaking 15 hours, 16 hour flight. So
it's hard. I remember I visited. My sister and I were in Iran one year, long time, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And our dad, who's an engineer, had this contract in Qatar for a couple of years. So we went to visit him from there. And it's like, I feel the same way you do, where it's like, you know, this is no shade to those countries, but like there's the soul that you need is missing. And also as an Iranian, when you're that close to Iran, and now I can't go, but then I obviously could go. For those who can't go, when you're in a country so close, it's like almost, I don't know, it's like worse somehow than being here. Because here you're like, we're far anyway.
Exactly.
But there you're like, oh, I'm so close.
Because I literally sound by the beach, and I'm like, if I take a ferry for an hour and a half, that's Iran, but I can't go there, you know? So it was driving me nuts.
Yeah.
And also the whole, it's definitely people are materialistic, and it starts affecting you at some point. Like I like nice things. I like living comfortably, but I'm not a super materialistic person.
Yeah.
And after a while, like there, you start feeling like, you know, insecure. Like I only have one watch. Like people,
do I need 10? You're like, it's like a keeping up with the Joneses type thing.
That's what people talk about, and it's really show offy and stuff
Yeah.
to a very large degree, you know.
Yeah. Just something I hate.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because so I grew up on the East Coast. So, you know, I've been here now 12 years, but one of the questions I always get asked is like, what's the difference between East Coast and West Coast? And I think one of the biggest things is like growing up on the East Coast, we had a big emphasis on culture, language, education, and like you get your kind of your respect and your clout from those things that you've accomplished.
Yeah.
Whereas in LA, and it's not everybody in LA, there's wonderful Iranians here and people, but in LA, there's a lot of like emphasis on flash and cash. So it doesn't matter how you got it. It's just that you have it. And it's a lot of like in your face show off. And I hate that. And I'm glad you're not like that actually, especially as a rapper.
Yeah. I mean, and in LA, it's a fake version of it too. A lot of people don't have it, but they kind of flash it. You know what I mean? Like on the East Coast, there's a lot of old money people, or like new money, whatever. Like they might have a lot of money, but I feel like people are basically maxed out their spending in LA, you know?
Yeah.
So like they spend everything they have just to like, or everything they don't have sometimes to present this lifestyle or something, like image of themselves, you know, just to.
Yeah, they like pull up in the Lambo, and then they're like, I can't pay my rent.
Yeah.
Or it's like rented off of Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah. So like, okay, so going back and forth, that's a really interesting upbringing. What did you have to do like a lot of culture shock code switching at first? Because when you go to Iran, you're like, okay, now I'm back. What was that like? Explain that to me.
I'll tell you. First of all, it's crazy because they say, like, psychology says that the 3 things that affect you most, like, and it's difficult. It's war, natural disasters, and moving, you know? So through my childhood, I moved multiple times between 2 countries that are like polar opposites, different language, different culture. So
who are also at war with each other.
Yeah. I go there, death to America. I'm like, why? I fucking love America.
Why? It's so nice. Have you been in North Carolina?
That's so funny. But I really appreciate, I saw the positives too, because like I appreciate 2 things happen. Like I grew up full on as a child, American child, and an Iranian child. I played with all the toys here, all the culture here, all the same cartoons that any like American grew up on, like cereal, breakfast, this, that.
Yeah, so you get all the like references too then,
exactly,
the cultural references,
100%.
which is helpful, yeah.
So then, and then the same in Iran, because I grew up there, you know, and I would see the contrast. And as I got older, some things were more apparent of like, what's the difference with about living in a free society and what's not, you know? Because when you're a kid, you're just playing, right? And then as I got to high school, I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy. Like, they're talking shit to me because I'm wearing a t-shirt and like, especially Iran was like even more strict back then.
And when you say they, you mean like the police? Or
Yeah,
you mean
yeah,
the
yeah.
people? Yeah.
They, them, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
The police. And then because especially, and school was separate, right?
Right.
So I come here, girls and boys go to the same school. Over there, it's different, you know? So we would have to walk over to the girls' school afterwards to talk to girls. Yeah. And
It's a quick little
it
walk.
was just like, but school was freaking difficult. Cultural stuff, obviously, that's huge. But also school, like I would be here for 7th grade and 8th grade. And then we don't have Arabic here, clearly.
Right.
And then I go back to Iran, and then I'm like, what the fuck? I missed on 2 years of Arabic that everybody hates, by the way. Everybody hates, and no one knows how to speak it after, like, you know, taking it for years.
Why would we?
How do you catch up with that? How do you catch up with like missing 2 years of Arabic? And then math and stuff, Iran was much stronger, like, you know, much better, like, you know. So like the last time that I came here, I came here like I was a junior in high school, and there was pretty much no math for me to take because I was like so ahead.
You were a genius.
Yeah.
نابغه, as we say.
Yeah. You know, let me do But I remember like going to, when I did 1st grade here, we went back to Iran, to Esfahan, and my mom takes me to school the first day, do 1st grade again, you know.
That's so annoying.
I know. Then I had to skip 3rd grade like over the summer, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
So I go to school and I'm like, Mom, where's the library? Like, Mama, there's no library in this school. And it's
so
just
funny.
such a different vibe. Like kids are wild everywhere, but when it's all boys, it's just freaking wild.
And
know?
all
Like,
Iranian boys are that. The best kind of shaytun. No, but like I would think that's it. I also think that's a superpower that you have, though. You have your foot in both cultures and worlds, like pretty much, I would say equally. Would you say? Yeah. So that probably helped you in your art.
Yeah,
a lot as well, to be able to connect to people.
Yeah.
Where did your love of hip hop first come from? And I know that Tupac is your favorite because we said that, but did that influence you?
Definitely, yeah. And it's connected to my immigrant story and the story of going back and forth because I loved. By the way, when I went back to Iran, let me go back from North Carolina when I was 7.
Yeah.
I went there and I couldn't speak Farsi. Yeah, I don't know how to speak Farsi.
You forgot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I have an accent now, so it sounds weird. But
when you speak Farsi?
Speak Farsi? No, when I speak English.
When you speak English, yeah.
So, and then I had to learn Farsi. And then when I was like 9 years old, 2 years into moving back to Iran, someone gave me a poetry book by Sadi. I fell in love with, because Sadi's like kind of simple and he's funny. So I think it's the best way for a kid to get into poetry.
Okay.
I'm like, this is so funny. Like this guy has the best stories. He has like a long poem about like farting.
He
like,
does?
And it's serious, you know, he's so serious, but it's so funny, you know, like I was just like, this is crazy.
I gotta ask my dad about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it, I could tell you after. Anyways, and it has a lot of travel stories in there. Like, one time I was going from Damascus to like Shiraz, and then on the way, the caravan stopped by the fire and Like, it has a lot, like, so it's like really good for the imagination. It pulls you in.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I fell in love with Iranian language and then poetry, and I moved on to other poets and blah, blah, blah. So I already knew that I want to write, and I knew that I love poetry and I love music. And I was listening to some rap in Iran too, different stuff. But when I moved here, like, and it's always like the first year is like 6 months to a year is difficult, even though like, you know, because you're gone for a few years, things are different. You go to a new school, you don't know anybody. And at nighttime, like for hours, I would listen to Tupac, you know, and it would like help me get through the whole getting adjusted again to the move and everything. And it's funny because like I was living in Irvine, California, and he was rapping about the hood. I was like, yeah, I feel this shit. Dog.
Yeah,
like,
Irvine, the mean streets of Irvine, for
you know?
sure. Yeah.
But we were the most gangster people in Irvine, just saying, the Persians and Afghans.
Yeah.
But
well, it also feels like
and it really gave me so much. And like Tupac, obviously, like depends on people. You could pick and choose on what lyric and what song, but he has a lot of stuff that talks about getting through struggles and how to, you know.
Yeah.
So that gave me something, and I wanted to give that back because I knew Iranian people especially young people, struggle a lot. And that was missing in our music. We didn't really have that. We had like pop music and we had deep music that's like sunnati, old poetry music.
Yeah.
And then we had like dancey, like shisha, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have anything that talks to young people and like kind of it's more direct, you know?
Yeah.
So I really wanted to do that. That was one of the big motivators, yeah.
I was going to say too, like Tupac for me, one of the reasons he's my favorite is I never looked at him as just a hip hop artist. He's a poet. He's an artist. He's like, was a community leader, you know,
Yeah.
He was doing really great things and at such a young age. And hip hop is born from, you know, Black culture, Latino culture in New York City back in the 70s. And one of their main points is talking about injustices, the tough times in life and the struggles that they go through. And I think there's a really natural connection to those struggles and Iranian people who have struggles too. So like they can connect. میتونن ارتباط برقرار کنن with this type of music because you're basically reflecting issues back to them that actually makes people think. And that's one thing I actually appreciate about you and your music is you're not one of those. So like it's hard for me to connect to a lot of Iranian rappers because there's a disconnect, right?
Yeah.
And I grew up with hip hop here, so that's what I'm gonna connect to first. But I appreciate that you don't rap about like girls and money and cash. You're actually talking about real issues. And that is a link to me to how Tupac was too. It's also one of the reasons that I really like Yas, because I think Yas is like in the same vibe of that type of let's actually rap about social too much, Salimi, you know, obviously. So speaking of that too, who do you think are other than yourself, you have to say, who do you think are like some of our best Persian rappers and are there new up and comers that you think you have your eye on?
New best Persian rappers and up and comers. It's funny because I was listening to some kid. I shouldn't say kid. He's you know because he's younger than me.
Yeah.
But he's a newer guy. His name's Mersad, and he's really dope. He's really good, very talented.
Where's he based out of?
Tehran, I think.
Oh,
I'm pretty
nice.
sure.
Oh, nice.
He's
Yeah.
from Iran. He's very good. People from like I'm first generation Iranian rapper. Like I don't know if it's like. They're not motivated, they're not inspired, but they're not really making that much music. It's kind of weird that like I don't know why I'm like this. Like I make a lot of music still, but so I'm not really hearing my people like from my generation making a lot of stuff to talk about it.
Right.
Who else?
Anyone you think is overrated?
Yeah, there's a lot of people overrated, but I mean. I wouldn't name names because
I could.
It's just because that's how it is. It's because like when someone has hype, and it happens in America too, right? Some rapper comes and makes a big name for 2-3 years, and I always know like that guy 2-3 years from now it's over.
Not
like,
gonna last.
You know, it's just hype, and people vibe with something, and then when you're a new artist, you get away with bullshit, you know. But after a few years, like, you know, you need to like have some real music to like.
You got to be able to back it up.
Yeah.
What's that? I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I think he's from the south of Iran. Is his name Chorsi?
Charsi?
Charsi. That's how you say it? Charsi.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's cool. I did a song with him actually a few years back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's really cool about like people from Gambron and from the south of Iran is because they're Afro-Iranian.
Yep.
And they really bring that character and like personality to their music, and I do like that, you know.
Yeah.
And that's actually another cool thing. Just like rap in America, like maybe it started in New York, then it moved to like West Coast, and then to the South and Atlanta, and like all like Florida, Miami. You know, just like that kind of happened somewhat in Iran a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it was just like Tehran, then. Went to Shomal, it's got some really good rappers. They got like a bunch of like really good guys, and then like Mashhad, and then the South, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's happening, and it's like also it's like a developing thing, and more people from other
like we'll be
places
seeing
come.
more about it. To refer to this, because we said obviously hip hop started within the Black community, and I feel like, you know, a lot of our rappers don't acknowledge that, but you do, and you have. And for example, when a big thing happens, when we had like Black Lives Matter protest a few years ago in LA, like after George Floyd, you, to my memory, were probably the only person who actually said something about it. And I really appreciate that. And I think that, and I obviously like we've talked about this because I get backlash. You've got backlash, and I saw things about like, some people said, oh, you're doing too much, you're saying too much. Some people say you're not doing enough, you're not saying enough. How do you balance that? And why is it important
It's so difficult, and I learned like I don't know if it's easy or hard way, whatever. But I like no matter what you say, people really want you to be tribal, right?
Yeah.
Like you either, whether it's America with like left and right, or in Iran, like if you, and I was thinking about this, how do you become so tribal? And I think it's generally, let's say you see one group you agree with mostly, so now you have to agree with everything they say, you know? And it's kind of wild. Because even when I supported Black Lives Matter, I said, all these people messaged me like, change your fucking profile picture, make it all black. I was like, what? I didn't know that. Like,
Yeah, like
I'm being supportive, you know?
yeah.
But
You have to like do it in their way, or they
yeah. I've learned to just you know, say whatever I think, and sometimes, especially on Twitter, X, whatever, people are insane. Like, I've been obviously rapping about what's going on in Iran, like social stuff and politics, for 20 years now, you know, and I've never changed what I talk about, my opinion about that, you know. A few months ago when Israel attacked Iran, I put a post on Twitter, and it was even misunderstood. Like, I was saying that after the war was over, I was talking to my friend like Shaheen Najafi and then King Ram after like the ceasefire happened. And I wrote about it. I'm like, it's been 2 days and I'm still can't sleep and I'm thinking about the war. Meaning, maybe I could have worded it better. Meaning that we were thinking that what's going to come of this.
Right.
And now it's all up in the air.
Right.
And the people who are going to suffer more are the people inside of Iran, blah, blah, blah.
Of course.
People started fucking, they thought that I'm saying that I'm scared of war and Israel shouldn't attack or whatever. And for some reason, the people who are against the Iranian regime, especially the like pro-monarchy ones in general, they're absolutely pro-Israel too.
Unfortunately.
And I'm like, hold on, I don't want to get into too many different topics, but like basically, so then I started getting attacked by all this stuff like, you're with the mullahs.
Yeah.
They're fucking paying your bills. You fucking like Akhund ass kisser. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, you know,
same.
You didn't even like you misunderstood my tweet anyways. And people just jump on the bandwagon, you know?
Yeah.
And then I put another video a few days before that when the war was happening. I was just saying that as like, I'm an Iranian American, but like the Iranian people of Iran, we don't really, no country is really the friend of another country. You know, I'm like, China's not our friend. Russia's not our friend. United States isn't the Iranian people's friend. Israel, the country, everybody's looking out for their own benefits as it should be. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody is like, you know, you got to look out for your own, the people of your country, you know? And again, I started getting attacked, saying all kinds of shit to me that like, oh, then why are you living in America? I'm like, because I'm fucking Iranian American. I love this country, you know?
Yeah.
It's giving me so much. And what I'm saying is that Iran should be the same. Like, people should look out for themselves and like support each other, you know, instead of just waiting for a messiah to come save you. That's never going to happen. No other country is going to come and look for, you know, save the people of another country without any interest. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but
No, it does, because it's people that come kisu istifadah mikonan. Like, look, that people have tried. Americans, British have tried, and then look what we got because of it. So it's like the meddling doesn't help. But I fully understand what you go through, because I get attacked every day for my views too.
Yeah.
So I'm no stranger to that. That's actually a great segue into something else I wanted to talk to you about, which is like one of the biggest problems in our diaspora. Because I also want to make it clear that I'm talking about the diaspora when I say Iranians, because people in Iran, I feel like, because they've suffered under the regime, I've never had to live there. So una haq daran to think and feel however they want. My problem is with a lot of people out here who actually live in a democratic country, whether it's in the States or in Europe, and they know what freedom and democracy should be like. And it feels like they just want another form of dictatorship a lot of times, just like a right-wing version of it. And we have such a big problem with being able to talk to each other and have differing opinions without being like, oh, you don't think just like me? Then you love the mullahs. You're with the regime. People think I literally get a check from like Khamenei every week in my direct deposit. You know what I mean? Like, so what do you think is the biggest problem in our diaspora? And like,
that is like, you hit it, you know, on the dot. Like, it's just we don't know how to have dialogue. It's crazy. Like, even the people who, like, let's say the monarchists or the people, like, everybody who wants change in Iran, they agree on at least 90% of like everything, but they don't know how to have dialogue. If you disagree on, like, if you agree, like, out of like 50 things, if you agree on 48 and they disagree on 2 things, it's like you're the fucking devil, you know? And they start attacking you, and, you know, and the thing with social media, you don't know which one of these accounts are bots.
Yeah.
You don't know who's paying for them. You know, you don't know what it is. You just go there and it's just a freaking like photo of whoever they're supporting.
Yeah.
And but that's a big problem. And I know, like, this is a fact. Iran's never going to be free until we learn to come together. You know, it's just not going to happen. You know, it's just not going to happen.
I agree. And I think that, unfortunately, because of the repression and the trauma from this regime and everything that's happened in Iran, even in the last 60 years, let's say, even so, like the 20 years prior leading up to it, has done something to the psyche of a lot of Iranians, where a lot of people say they want freedom and democracy. People in the diaspora, I'm saying, and they say we want freedom and democracy for Iran, but freedom and democracy means I can disagree with you and you don't wish for my death or my rape or killing off my whole bloodline. You know what I mean? Like, we should be able to say this is wrong. Or, you know, even someone like me who like speaks out about Palestine, that automatically makes me a mullah lover. You know what I mean? Like, and unfortunately, again, they conflate anything that the regime has supported. If you, then they say, oh, you're on the right side. And
exactly.
Non-critical thinking.
I don't think Iranian government has been fucking giving so much money to terrorist organizations around the world, for the Hezbollah and like Hamas. Fuck that. Like, you know, that money's for the people of Iran.
Absolutely.
The countries in everything, in every way, economy, like justice, everything's in like shambles. And then they're giving millions and millions to fucking terrorist organizations.
Right.
Fuck that. Because of that, a lot of Iranian people who are against the Islamic Republic, they automatically think should be in support of all the enemies. You know what I mean? Like, the enemy of your enemy is not always your friend. You know, and like that's really like, I don't know why people can't distinguish that. You know, but if you do, like, you know what happens.
Yeah.
Or like, and I feel like Iranians, again, Twitter is so dark.
It's a cesspool.
It's a cesspool. Yeah. Like, I put a thing, and one time it got taken out of context. I thought it's gonna be funny, you know, because like it was something about Game of Thrones. When oh my god, I've had a few on Twitter that people hate me on Twitter.
People hate me too. It's okay.
It's so funny. The guy, I think it was something like House of Dragon, actually, the series.
Okay.
And the guy, like, he told his girlfriend to, you know, get on the dragon, and they're riding on the dragon together, flying. And I was making a show on YouTube about it, and I was saying as a joke, like, oh, it was my girlfriend. Like, Iranian girlfriend would drive you crazy. Like, oh, can we stop here to pee? Oh, I'm scared. Oh, I'm like thinking like that. Because me and my girlfriend actually had that conversation. Dude, I put that up, and they're saying that, like, it got viral as an anti-woman thing, and all this, like, feminist to guys. Because that's the thing. People don't need this, like, if someone like is yelling at someone, like, let me go yell at him too.
Like,
So, as a show of support for feminism against me, people were sending all kind of rape and like death threats, like to women of my family. I'm like, you guys, like, do you guys even think what you're saying? Like, you know,
no, they
like,
don't.
You know,
these are the people that,
so
by
stupid.
the way, I'm telling you, like, because a lot of these people are real people that I see these comments from, because it gets directed toward me, and I can promise you, because to this day, nobody in any public space has come up to me and said anything like that to my face, because they know it's fucking wrong, and they just get, like, you know, emboldened behind a fucking computer screen. So that's the other thing, is I feel like people act one way behind their screens and another way when they actually see you in public.
Oh, absolutely.
They would never.
Yeah. None of these people would do that in public, you know.
Yeah.
They would probably come and take a picture with you too. You know?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Anyways.
So what do you think is also a big disconnect between Iranians in the diaspora and Iranians in Iran?
Iranians in the diaspora,
is there anything I don't know how to articulate that better, but like, because I feel like you don't feel a disconnect because you've lived there
with
and you've
Iran,
gone back and forth.
yeah.
But so do you see something as someone who has lived in both countries, where you see the diaspora doing something where you're like, oh, that's not gonna go well in Iran?
I can see what both sides are missing. The
Right.
people who are only there and the people who've always been here.
And what do you think that is?
People who've always lived in Iran, and this is one of the roadblocks in the way of like freedom and changing Iran. And I was talking to some of the potential opposition leaders recently, and I'm like, you guys really need to focus on this, because people who live in Iran, especially the younger generation, which is more than half the population of the country, they've never seen the time of the Shah, or when Iran was more free, let's say.
Right.
So all you guys can, let me put it this way. They know there's problems. They know Iran's not free. So that's all they've seen, though. You know what I mean? So they don't know what is different. You have to live outside of Iran to live in a free society. Then you'll see what it can be. Right. Other than that, you just know you're living in a shitty country and everything's fucked up, but you don't know what a better tomorrow would look like. You know, I'm at point A, what does point B look like, so I can move towards it? So people aren't going to do anything until they see what that looks like, you know? Right. Otherwise, you could just come say like, and, you know, oh, we love the king. Or you could say Islamic Republic is, say all the bad shit that they do. That's not going to get people to move, you know? Be like, okay, I understand, I know all this stuff, but then, you know.
They need like a clear example, because that's one thing we've talked about with other friends, where it's like the day that the regime falls, what's going to replace it? Because again, a lot of people, because we see it in our diaspora, again, we were saying freedom means freedom of thought, speech, being able to like talk about things and have different, somebody wants to, you know, wear their rusari still, they should be able to do so. Exactly. Even though I don't want to do it, I wouldn't do it. But it's like, you know, we have to be able to, or else until like Jumhuri Islami gets out of the like afkar of everybody, that's the only way I feel like we can move forward.
Absolutely. Because right now it's just like, someone's never seen the ocean and you keep talking about like, oh, but it's so beautiful in the sunset, and then this waves, the waterfalls, and then the water sparkles on the sunlight sparkles on the water. Like, that's cool, you know what I mean? But it's different when you actually go to the ocean. So they don't know what being free actually, they've never experienced it. Yeah. So that's the problem that they have there. And then the people who, they don't know what Iranian society is like. The people who've never lived in Iran, I think that's really important. They're kind of, they have a big disconnect. And again, I see at these like opposition meetings and stuff that I go to, there are a lot of people who haven't been to Iran for 40, 50 years. Yeah. And it reminds me of like, so many things remind me of Game of Thrones, you know, and they tell like, the people are waiting for your arrival, my lord, you know what I mean? Like, and they're just like living in this delusional
alternate universe, reality. I feel like.
Yeah, I'm like, no, like that's not reality. And that's not like, maybe we could put up do a play to, you know, what do you call it? Sorry, do a play about like freedom or something. I'm like, dude, like you gotta be kidding me. Gray generation of Iran who are agnostic about what's gonna happen and what needs to happen. You're not gonna penetrate them. You're not gonna like affect them by, you know, doing plays and just songs and stuff like that. You need you know, a solid plan and a solid plan,
a clear-cut plan. Yeah, I agree with that.
Hope I'm not talking too much.
No, I mean, we're here to talk. Do you go to therapy? Have you gone to therapy?
I have this thing.
You look like you just got really shy.
No, I'm like, I have. My voice changed. You know what I'm talking about? I have.
Because I think everyone benefits from it, and I think our community really needs it. Yeah. Because we've had so much trauma, and even children of immigrants. I was born and raised in the States, but things have been passed down from my parents too that I've seen and experienced. So like we have a specific set of traumas and experiences that a lot of people don't know what it's like. A lot of people don't know what it's like to not be able to visit your homeland, or to have your family members die, or go through weddings that you can't attend and be there for. And and the hardships that the parents faced when they were here in the 70s and 80s throughout the hostage crisis and the war and all that kind of stuff and the revolution. So, you know, I just think we could all benefit from it. But I was just curious what you feel.
No, I think therapy is good. But I think I tried a few times and I'm like, this guy doesn't know shit, you know? But
that's very Iranian, by the way.
Very Iranian, but also like, okay, so one time I talked to someone in Iran. I was like in video calls, and then also I'm like a little like cheap with it. I'm like fucking like $250 an hour. Expensive, like, it is pretty expensive. Yeah. So then I talked to someone in Iran. I'm like, same thing. We're talking about the diaspora. I'm like, this guy is not really understanding like all my situations because he hasn't lived here. So then I had a couple of non-Iranians here. And I'm like, shit, we gotta have 10 sessions before we get to episode 1. I gotta tell like the whole Iranian story, what it means. Cause I started, I'm saying like, cause I'm like, cause as Iranians, like we,
and they're like,
okay,
no.
they don't know that. Cause I'm like, cause I'm like, they don't know this either.
Yeah. You need like an Iranian American.
It has to be an
therapist.
Iranian American that's
Yeah.
like, anger. And then also I'm very like multi-layered and I know myself pretty well. So it has to be someone who is really good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Cause I write about myself all the time. I'm not like a stranger to myself. So I need someone who's like, yeah.
Do you think that you've learned more about yourself since doing psychedelics?
Yeah.
Let's talk
absolutely.
about that.
Let's talk about that.
I want to know your experience, and I want to preface this by saying I've always been so curious, but I'm just someone who I also know myself well enough to know, like, some people, they like to take things that they can feel themselves being altered. If I feel myself being altered, I get nervous. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. So I'm always very curious. Friends that do stuff, shrooms and all that kind of stuff. And I'm never, it's not from a judgmental place that I don't do it. It's just, I feel like, what if something happens in my brain breaks, or like I throw myself off of a mountain. But like, how did you get into that? How has it helped you?
Okay. Would you like some DMT?
Yeah, wait, what's DMT? Which one is
we can talk about that later. No, I had done, mushrooms a few times, like, throughout the years, but I had the same issue, what you're saying, like about like whether it's ayahuasca or what I did, which is, some people call it ayahuasca. Some people call it, this person who I go to.
Wait, was that?
I don't like using. And what's up?
Is that a mixture of mushrooms and ayahuasca?
No, it's kind of like a mixture of two other things, mushrooms with something else. Let me see where to start so it doesn't get confusing. So, and I don't like putting the label of shaman because I kind of hate when people call themselves shamans, like, unless you're like a generational from freaking Peru, like in the Amazon.
Yeah.
People like in LA, it's funny, man. They do like mushrooms 3 times and like, I'm a shaman.
Yeah, they get like one
no,
certificate from some course and they're like, I'm a guru.
You're not. You're from Malibu. You're not. So there was this guy that I keep hearing about from friends.
Okay.
And I'm very pessimistic about this stuff. When someone is trying to like do business about it, I think it's my Erfan site. I'm like, he just wants my money. I'm like, I'm like, what the fuck talking about? Like the shaman, this and that. And so they keep hearing about like 7 people that I know went to this guy, different girls, boys, different personalities. One by one, they came and told me like, Erfan, you have to try. Like it changed my life. It was such a significant day and blah, blah, blah. So I get on a phone call with him and we talk for 40 minutes. And I'm like, this guy's amazing. Like, I really like him,
Iranian?
He's a real, he's Iranian. And he lives in the mountains of Escondido. He's been doing that for years. And he's dedicated his life to helping people.
Okay.
And another thing that I liked about it is like, generally when people do ayahuasca, it's in group ceremonies. This was one-on-one. I'm like, this is cool. I don't want to be in the thing. I thought it's less beneficial in a group setting. And also for the reason you were saying, I'm like, what if I lose my mind and act a fool in front of people, like start screaming, like,
don't you?
And I decided to move forward and go see him. And I went there and I was really afraid because, again, I had tried mushrooms, dabbled, but like low doses. This is a mixture of psilocybin mushrooms with Syrian rue or tokhme esfand, the same esfand that you smoke.
Yeah. Or that you do it for yourself.
Like you visit me, and then like I'm not gonna talk about the details of how you take it and stuff because I don't want to do that. I don't want I don't want anybody to go and try it because it's not a joke. But what it does is it's just like it has like harmala in it, which is ayahuasca is the same. It's 2 different plants. Okay. One of the plants itself, the one that has the psychoactive properties, but has like DMT in it, your body, if you just take it or make a tea out of it, won't absorb it. So you have to mix it with another plant. I don't know how they figured this shit out in the Amazon. This tree bark and the other roots or whatever. Then you have to boil it for hours.
Yeah. Wait, what's DMT?
DMT is like our body makes DMT too, but
I hear it. I just don't know what it is. Yeah.
It's basically the psychoactive, psychedelic chemical that you could do it on its own too. That you could like I've done that as well. I've done 5.
So is it in something or it is its own thing? Like Mazan, is it in mushrooms or DMT is its own separate thing?
Oh, no. Mushrooms doesn't have any DMT in it.
Right.
Mushrooms is like separate. It's something
DMT
else.
is its like own chemical thing.
Yeah, and they say like when you're born and when you die, like your body gets flushed with DMT. I don't know. They say a lot of things. Who knows?
Okay.
And but again, our body has 5-MeO inhibitors, so that's why like you can't like if you let's say like do ayahuasca, you have to mix it with something else so like it actually absorbs it, or you actually feel the effects. I should say. Sorry, I'm like rambling.
That's okay.
So same thing with psilocybin. When I went to this guy, what he does is he mixes it as a combination with like tokhma Erfan, like Syrian rue seeds. It's a very specific combination because it can become very poisonous, very dangerous. Please, like, don't freaking try this, like, you know.
Yeah.
But what it does is it makes the effects, like, let's say, first of all, you do a heavy dose of mushrooms, and this like triples the effect when you do with Syrian rue.
Do you remember it when you do it?
Yeah. I'll tell you. Like, yeah. And then also it does some grounding with it. So I was very afraid of freaking out. Like, what if darkness comes? What if I make a fool of myself? What if I get scared? What if I get stuck in a dark trip for hours, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, again, I went there and this guy, you know, calmed me down so much. And I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. So the next morning, 6 a.m., you wake up. You have to do a specific diet the week before. Like, don't eat meat and blah, blah, blah. You wake up 6 a.m., you do the, you know, Syrian rue first, and then about an hour later, you take the mushrooms. And it's such a crazy thing. Like, I did it twice, and they were both the 2 most significant days of my life because they both changed me so much. So much crazy shit happens. You saw, like, you have to, first of all, surrender. You just kind of lie on the couch. You have to be wearing white, blah, blah. And again, I was pessimistic. I'm like, why doesn't matter what color of clothes you're wearing? And I'm like, but when I'm there, I'm like, it makes sense because like you feel calm, you know, when you're like, instead of like when you're like white and everything, the whole room's white, it's more like calm and chill. And like, exactly. He starts playing music, and the music is a huge part of it, you know? And it's such a deep trip. You hallucinate, you go to your childhood, you go through all of your traumas, you see it in slow motion, and it's like you clean up the file and you come out of it. And he told me in the beginning, it's going to be peaks and valleys. So you're going to go through, you know, the darkness of your past and whatever you're dealing with. And then we're going to clear it up and you're going to come peak and you're going to feel good about it. You're going to feel relieved, you know. And for some reason, for me, it was just all peaks. I didn't have any valleys. That's
great.
I had a great time. And
can I ask you a quick question about the thing that you said about the traumas?
Yeah.
So when those things come up, is something happening, or is he telling you something to guide you through like getting over it so that that's not a problem for you anymore? Yeah.
If you talk to him, he'll talk to you. He's done it with over 300 people, with a lot of like American celebrities that you would know. People who have crazy drug addictions. People go to him from different reasons, you know, from like, you know, serious trauma to like, you know, more, you know, relaxed situations.
Yeah.
But for the first 6-7 hours, my eyes were completely closed. I didn't talk to him.
6-7 hours.
Eyes were closed.
And he's just sitting there with you
while
you're sleeping.
He's playing the music, and the music is like an integral part of it. It's really important because it guides you and takes you through these emotions. I thought of it like, if you want to have a like good psychedelic healing session, there's like it's like a triangle, you know, like one side is the medicine itself.
Yeah.
One side is this guy, the person who's like, you know, taking care of anything, and one side is the music, you know.
Yeah.
But it's basically two sides are him because he's controlling the music, and also you feel safe with him. That's why, like, if I would do that at my house, I'd be in a mental hospital till this day.
Absolutely.
You know,
I have my friends who've done like mushrooms and stuff like that. They always say the environment is so important.
It's so important.
Yeah, because it lays the groundwork for how you're going to actually take that experience. And everyone says like calm nature is the best place to be. Everything else is going to be too chaotic.
And that's when you do like 3 grams or something like that. And that's
is
like
that a lot
full
or
dose.
medium?
3.5 is like a full dose. Yeah. But then with this guy and the mix and stuff like that, I probably did something closer to like maybe 20, you know? And Like I didn't do 20 grams of mushrooms, but with the mix that he does, like the effects are like, just like that. Again, like my eyes were closed for 6-7 hours. And
Do you get any memories?
I was so pessimistic. I have so many memories. Yeah.
Are you like washing the dishes and all of a sudden you're like, I remember when the thing that unlocked for me. You know?
Some things, the effects are lingering. It happens over time. And that's how like that's what happened when I wanted to I wanted to quit nicotine and like cigarettes. I was vaping. I went there. It happened 2 months after. I was meditating. Like I went there and I wanted to quit nicotine, and like I had these crazy episodes in my trip going back and forth about what nicotine is, why I'm addicted to it, why do people get addicted to anything, why like it was going deep, like from all these different kinds of angles. And then I didn't quit. 2 months later, I was doing a meditation at my house. Yeah. And then it took me back, and it felt like I finally understood everything that I saw, and I knew why I saw everything. I quit overnight. Done.
Did you?
Yeah.
Cold turkey.
Cold turkey.
And so you haven't smoked?
No. I mean, I might at a party or something like borrow someone's vape once in a while, but no.
How long has it been?
I don't crave it. Oh, it's been I used to smoke cigarettes too. That was like 4 years ago I quit. Yeah. And then vaping, it's been a year and a half, maybe 2 years. It'll be 2 years soon. Like, yeah. That's
great. Is that immature?
Yeah. But anyways, I want to tell you about some of the stuff about the trip because I don't think I told you.
Tell me.
But one thing that happened, like it takes you back to your childhood. Everybody experiences this, and everybody goes to the Middle East somehow, even if you're not Middle Eastern, because he thinks this has roots in the Middle East for some reason because of the Erfan and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, like for me, one thing that happened, I was just like seeing visions, and when I say I was seeing stuff, it's like full HD. It's like I'm watching a movie. My eyes are closed. It's like my eyelids are a movie screen. And it was me in Iran. I was playing as a child in the street running, and then I saw like an image of my feet that they're hitting the ground. And then all of a sudden it's like it went back like generations. My dad's feet, grandpa, great grandfather, blah, blah, blah. Like it all happens like so fast. Yeah. And then I'm like, damn, generation after generation, my ancestors have walked and ran in Iran, and I've stepped foot on that land. I'm the first generation that's like basically I cut off that, I cut off that link, and I'm like, I'm living here, and I know I'm going to be living here forever. So it kind of hit me, but also like calmed me. I'm like, okay, like it's like, and things like that happen over and over, and you just deal with things. There's things that they're in your subconscious mind, and then like you see them, and then it kind of like clears out for you. And my relationship with people became much better, like my mom, my brother, my best friends, because I've become much more empathetic.
That made me just really emotional for some reason.
Yeah. It's something that you don't even think about, right? Like you don't think about it, like, and then you do.
Yeah, like, just the picture of seeing your ancestors' feet. It's also like, to me, it reminded me of like all the things that they've gone through that you have absorbed into your being, because I fully believe that, because I see visions of my grandparents sometimes. So it's like the things that they went through, and then the things that they couldn't do, and it's all in you. And then it's up to you, what parts of this generational traumas and experiences do you want to keep because they're good? Not the trauma part, but you know what I mean? And then what parts is it up to you to break the link and let go of? Yeah. And I love that you said it made you more empathetic to your family and in general, but do you think that happened with your mom and brother too, because you felt like maybe what your mom went through? Or
I had a crazy episode with that. The second time I went, I could tell you that like, I was just thinking about second time I went, and you go all over the place, right? It's really important for me to say this before I tell this really important story, that like you're on this beautiful beach, you see visions, you see colors, things go, you see your childhood, then you see just like all over the place, right? Like you're just like seeing things and feeling things, and it feel warm, and sometimes like you forget you're there, and then like tears come, and then it hits your neck, like, oh shit, I'm here, like, because you're like completely in your mind, you kind of like, lose touch. And anyway, so I was thinking about my childhood. I was like, damn, my mom went through a lot. Like we had 3 boys and fucking crazy kids. And I'm like, she had really hard time raising us, Then I'm like, damn, when I was born, she was like so young. I was the third child and she was 30. Like she had her first kid when she was 20.
Wow.
And then I saw myself being born. Like I experienced being born again. And I'm like, at that moment, what was it like for my mother? And then, damn, that's difficult for mothers. And I'm like, I kind of like separated from my mom for a moment. And I'm like, for any mom, any woman, they carry you for 9 months. And these are things that it's not a mystery, but like you don't really feel it, like understand it. I'm like, it's so difficult, even if you're in the best financial situation, even if you had like in a good relationship. You were born, they carry you for 9 months. You come out and you're like, la la la, like I'm in this new world. For them, it hasn't changed. You're a part of their body. They made you, right? So even though you live separately outside of the body, their body, that's not how they see it, And we're so stupid that we don't get like, sometimes the way mothers are, and it becomes annoying to us.
Yeah.
I'm like, you piece of shit. They're just like, love you, you know what I mean? And they're not even expecting much. Like they call you too much. She's calling me so much. And they're saying they worry about you all the time. Why you worry all the time? You get annoyed. I'm like, they can't help it. Like all they think about all day and night is their kids. Like they can't help it, So I just really kind of hit me, and I felt that it's so difficult being a mother, and it's so much there. And it started from my mom and me being born again, went to all women and everybody across the board. And so like, I just like, and then that stays with you, So I'm so much kinder to my mom, and so much more appreciative of all mothers and women in general, So anyways.
I've heard, my mom and all my friends who are moms, and many moms describe it as your heart now lives outside of your body. So you're always going to be worried. This makes me so emotional. I talk to my mom. I talk to my parents every day. We do like family FaceTimes all the time. So I think as I've gotten older too, sometimes when I look, I'm like, oh my God, they're asking. And then I'm like, Nazanin, you're so lucky that you have two parents that give a fuck about you and always are worried about you. Don't you dare give them an attitude because they called you 3 times, my son, So that was really touching. I'm really glad you shared that. Thank you.
For sure.
Okay, I'm gonna compose myself. Well, speaking of which, and women and your appreciation, I think we have something in common, which is we've both never been married. We probably have different reasons for it, but why haven't you been? You have 3 minutes to tell me why haven't you been married?
Working on it. Okay, let's go.
When are you gonna do it?
No, working on it, and because I do want to get married, and I believe in marriage, and I want to have kids and everything. So. But I know I'm in a serious relationship, and I'm working on it. It's just like, I always also believe that it has to be with everybody probably thinks that, everybody knows that it has to be with the right person.
Yeah.
It's not like something that I came up with.
Your most important decision. Apparently, is who you marry.
Yeah. And then, so I just knew, all my past relationships within like a few months, like I just kind of knew this isn't the one,
Same.
Yeah. So is that the same reason for you?
I've stayed longer sometimes because on paper, I'm like, well, everyone's like, Una, he's good, he has this career. And I'm like, but there's something there. I've always, my parents have been together for 50 years. Knock on wood, this was their 50th anniversary. It was a few months ago. And, I think that sometimes for people who see a really good, long-lasting relationship, your expectations are actually a little bit higher because you're like, oh, I know it can be. This is what it could be. And I've always had this 50-50 thing where I love, and I love, being in a partnership, but also I love being independent. And I think maybe I've also been with people who maybe weren't as supportive of my career or what I want to do, or you just can feel like they're not going to intellectually stimulate me for the rest of my life. I'm going to get bored and stuff like that. So it's kind of, I've always been like, about it. And so I've never done it either. But I also know pretty quickly too. And I think now in my wiser years, I know when I should cut and run when I'm aroused. Exactly. I'm not gonna wait and be like, maybe it'll change. I'm like, no, it's not gonna change. Now I'm like, no, it's not gonna change.
I'm pretty bad at breakups though. I am. Like there's times that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this logically, sit down and say everything that's on my mind. Like I'm like, I don't think this is like working. The feeling, emotion's not there. I don't think there's a future.
Yeah.
you know, and then like she'd be like, but I think, man, what if it gets better? Let's give it like a few more months. I'm like, okay. When I know like it's not gonna, you know, I've been
So
bad
you're
with
very
that.
easy to convince.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I would like to think I'm nice.
That's the other thing. You
But,
don't.
yeah.
There's been times where I've avoided breakups because I'm like, I don't want to be mean, but it's like you're
Yeah.
actually, but then you're being mean to yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing the thing that you know is
Exactly.
good for you.
Yeah.
Erfan, you've got to come back because there's so much more to talk about.
I know.
And we're out of
I'd love
time.
to. We could do this once a month.
We should do a once a month thing, and we can talk about different issues. Because you know what, I still want to talk about what the problems are between Iranian girls and guys, and why it's so hard to date each other. We'll come back to it. Anyway, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us with Memhuni, with Nazanin, with our special guest Erfan. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, sis.
All right.
Yay, that was wonderful.
That was good, yeah?
That was great. Thank you. I could have talked for